Hello, it's me. Little update here. I went to see the plastic surgeon or cosmetic surgeon. What do we call him? Anyway, I went to see the cosmetic surgeon, plastic surgeon, whatever, on Wednesday. Today's Friday, the 8th. The 8th? Is it the 8th? Yeah. Anyway, so I went to see him on Wednesday, and I think I just swallowed some mouthwash which has bleach in it. I think I'm gonna die. Okay, so if I'm dead by the next time, it won't be me saying anything, obviously. Anyway, yeah, I went to see him on Wednesday, and first of all, I felt like a piece of meat, which is never a good thing. And then I told him my concerns, and he said, and then after that, since I was going to be, I knew I was going to feel like a piece of meat. My husband left the room, and he and the nurse came back. Not he, my husband, the doctor and the nurse came back, or the assistant, whatever the hell she is. And I was naked and in a little robe, and they looked at all the bits and bobs. So he said, first of all, I told them that I'd lost weight, and he didn't believe me when I told him my bra size. I'm like, okay, well, you try getting into frickin' D, 34D, and see how much that works out for you, because it didn't work for me. Anyway, so I tried that. He looked at that. He took measurements. He looked, and he blah blah blah, and he said, well, really, you've lost. I said, well, I used to be an H, 36H, and now I'm down to a double D or E. And so he said, well, the insurance, for the insurance to cover it, you'd have to have a certain amount of cc's taken from each side. And he said, and I don't think we'd be able to take out that much from yours. So he said, you'd wake up from surgery if I took out that much, and asked me if I'd done a mastectomy. And I'm like, you don't fucking joke about that, pardon the swearing, but you don't joke about mastectomies. But he said it twice on two separate occasions while I was there. And then he went onto my tummy, and he'd shown me, well, before my husband had left and before I had to strip off, he had shown us pictures of before and afters for breast reductions. And my husband and I occasionally would look at each other, and afterwards we were discussing it. And I said, out of all the pictures that he showed, there were only two women who were better afterwards, looked like had reasonable shaped breasts afterwards than before. And most of them were like reasonable, and there were a couple that were really bad. And then we looked at the abdominoplasty, and a lot of the women who had that done seemed to have huge issues. But he said to me, because of the fact that I have not enough skin on my belly, there's no fat, there's just some skin, that unlike most of the pictures that he'd shown, except for one, all of them had just a horizontal scar, where they basically take all the skin from the belly button down, cut around the belly button, take all the skin, and then they can do like a smiley face down the bikini line. But because of the fact that there's not enough skin on mine, they'd only be able to take half of the amount of skin, because there really wouldn't be enough to pull down. Then I'd have a smiley face with a nose, because there'd be a vertical scar as well, because there's not enough, and that vertical would be from where the belly button had been. So I was like, oh, okay. And I told him my concerns about keloiding. He said, I don't have keloid issues. He looked at my back at a couple of places where I used to have acne when I was younger, and I have like raised scars. He said it was some kind of blah blah scarring. So it wasn't keloiding, he said. And then, so he basically said that another thing is, have I had documentation about my breast issues, like the pain in my back? And I said, look, dude, I work out for 2 hours, for 90 minutes to 2 hours every other day with weights. And I've also, he said, how did you manage to lose all that weight? I said, well, my dad died. So he went on to explain to us about how his dad had died of Alzheimer's, and how the history of that. And we were both like, my husband and I were both like, and he basically said, because I hadn't had any documentation of how I'd lost the weight with, like, whatever those surgeries are, because I'd just done it by myself, because I'd never complained about my back pain while in America. I have had physical therapy once on my back, but I just don't like to go to the doctor. I never complain about my back pain. When I have my back pains, I lie on the ground until I can swallow some water, and then I can take some Tylenol extra, because that's as much medication as I'll take, because I don't like to take medication either. I don't like to go to the doctor. I don't like to take medication. So because of the fact that I don't complain, never go to the doctor, I've screwed myself over about getting the insurance to pay for any of it. Aren't I the lucky one? And also because I took it upon myself to lose the weight myself, and instead of going, but he said, because of my BMI being so freaking fantastic and I'm so healthy and blah, 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 I wouldn't have issues with surgery, but had I done it before, when I was overweight, then I would have issues with surgery. And then it would be worse scarring. So if I'd had it done when I was 36H, I could have had it done, but then the scarring would have been worse. And, anyway, so the long story short, then he gave us a pricing without insurance, which was like something around 17,000. At which point my husband's eyes bugged out, and I said, "Well, what did you expect? Stupid." So I said to I got home, and then he and Holly went off to do taekwondo after dinner, and I got home and I had a bath, and I was sitting in the bath, and I started crying because I thought, you know what, I work out so bloody hard, and I'm never going to have the abs that I want because of I've been told by doctors, because of the fact that I'm short, I have like wrinkly, loose skin that will never go away unless I have it removed. So I'll never, as much as I work out, all the hours I work out every single day, all the treadmilling I do, nothing's ever going to give me the abs I want. And I know it's bloody pathetic, and I know it's vain, but you know, I work out so hard, I really wanted to have nice abs that showed. And also the breast issue, he made me feel like a piece of shit about the whole breast issue. He really did. I already have enough body, issues as it is, but he made me feel so much worse. So I thought, if I have any of this done, and I said to my husband afterwards, when he got home with Holly, I was still upset. I was on the treadmill again, finishing my workout, because I'd done most of the stuff, weights, treadmill, and most of the second treadmill, but I still had 40 minutes left. And so when they got back, I was still upset, so I was crying, and I said, if nothing else, I want to have my abs done, my tummy done. So I work out so hard. I don't even feel, because I'm really self-conscious about stuff. I wouldn't even be able to get into a swimsuit without thinking, oh, I look like a freak. God, I'm so vain. Anyway, so I want still to have my tummy done, and my boobs. We'll just have to wait until I can afford to do the boobs, because I can't do them both. So as freaky and awful and ugly as my boobs are, I'm going to keep them as they are, and I'll get my tummy done first, but not with him. I'm going to look up different doctors in our local area and surrounding, and see if I can find somebody else that I can click with, because this guy I just did not click with. So yeah, but unfortunately he has pictures of me naked. Great, and he said it wouldn't end up on the internet. Naked. So that's an update. Sorry I haven't been doing any vlogging, but I just didn't think anybody was all that interested anyway. Holly is not even interested in doing like the weekend things that we used to do before. So I'm going to start doing my readings instead. And of course this is stuff that I've written, so it's going to be for adults only, and only people really who want to listen to gay fiction. And I'm also reading Tim Owen's book that he allowed me, he's given me permission to read on my other channel. I think it's called Immigration Reads. So I'll do a few vlogs on here as well, but I'm probably going to do more of the reading, since Holly doesn't want to get, do the things. And then maybe I'll do some vlogging like this from time to time. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you if you've listened. Sorry it was all downer. I appreciate everybody who watches. Please subscribe if you'd like to keep up with us. Subscribe to Immigration Reads if you want to listen to gay fiction readings, and also gay mystery. I think it's a mystery or thriller. And then thumbs up if you like this. And if you have any questions, or if you've got any comments or any advice or tips, please leave them below. Thank you very much. Bye.